Hey y'all, welcome back to the party. It's me, your girl, BrittReacts, and today we're going to react via a kind suggestion to Elon Musk, the man who made the world hate him. You decide. I'm just reacting.
A hand gesture by billionaire Elon Musk during a speech at Donald Trump's inauguration is causing controversy.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're breaking down the meteoric rise and catastrophic fall of Elon Musk, the world's richest man.
He went there with his cheese head, looking like a fool, and, you know, Wisconsin voters decided Wisconsin is not for sale.
All right.
Innovator, provocateur, billionaire, and pariah?
His father's influence might be responsible for some of the darker sides of his personality. Tell us about that.
Absolutely right. I mean, he grew up, you say about that wilderness camp. First time he went there, he's a scrawny, awkward kid, beaten up all the time. They took his food, loses a lot of weight.
Elon Reeve Musk has come a long way from his
All right, Mojo is super controversial here on the BrittReacts channel. I can't even tell y'all that I agree with most of the Mojo things we've watched, but it's content. Some people like to watch it. That's such an interesting news title. It's like Elon Musk, inspired by his father, influenced by his father. Isn't that what y'all want? Don't y'all want fathers to be influencing their children? I don't know. It's like, duh. I don't know. It just feels like a duh. I get what they're trying to say. Elon's dad's choices are a little sinister or scandalous or controversial, if you will. We've talked about them before. And Elon's sperm has kind of been scattered amongst many women and therefore procreating. And some find that to be controversial. If I were to do an inventory of how people feel about Elon Musk just here on my channel, I'd say 70% of you like him, like what he's doing, his role with Doge, and, you know, some of you stand up for him and say, you know, he's done some things awkwardly or without ill intent because of his diagnosis, and, you know, others of you don't. But I'd say it's about 70-30 here on the BrittReacts channel. So this, to me, felt like it was going to get the people going. It's provocative. Let's get the people going. So let's get into it. It seems we're getting a little bit of a Elon history lesson.
Took his food, loses a lot of weight.
Elon Reeve Musk has come a long way from his not-so-humble origins in Pretoria, South Africa. The son of Canadian-born model and dietitian May and South African electromagnetic engineer Errol, Elon was born into considerable wealth. In fact, his father Errol once shared that, quote, "We had so much money at times we couldn't even close our safe," end quote. Musk, who longed to escape apartheid-era South Africa for the United States, applied for a Canadian passport through his matrilineal heritage. This was partially to avoid South Africa's policy of mandatory conscription and partially to clear a path for his American immigration.
In conscription campaign was quite a creative strategy in response to a situation where there was a conscripted army which was based on race. So young white men were conscripted and had to serve 2 years of compulsory military service, followed by another 2 years of camps spread out over a number of years. And as the conflict in South Africa escalated, the conditions for conscripts became worse.
Landing in Saskatchewan,
I would love for someone in the comments to let me know why it was the younger white males who were pretty much sent into the military. Like what was their justification for that or their reasoning for that? That is...
The conditions for conscripts became worse.
Landing in Saskatchewan in 1989, Musk spent 2 years at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, before realizing his dream and transferring to the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. In 1994, a year before completing the requirements of his degree, Musk had a series of internships in Silicon Valley that would solidify his burgeoning interest in the tech industry. These put him on the path to becoming the Elon Musk that we know and love, or love.
Are they saying he had all of these internships, or this is just to represent Silicon Valley? Because what? I mean, everything you could ever think of is on it.
Both.
Back in '95, there weren't very many
Is that
people on
him?
the internet. And certainly nobody was making any money at all. Most people thought the internet was going to be a fad.
Although Elon and his brother Kimball Musk have often spoke of their tenuous relationship with their father Errol, it was he who enabled their careers in business. Errol granted his sons a $28,000 loan to found Zip2, a sort of digital city guide. Venture capitalist firm Moore Davidow invested $3 million into their company, altering their business model and relegating Elon to the role of CTO. Said Musk, quote, "The website was up during the day, and I was coding it at night, 7 days a week, all the time."
I think the internet is the superset of all media. It is the be-all and end-all of media. One will see print, broadcast, arguably radio, essentially all media folding into the internet.
The now defunct compact.
I had no idea that Elon has been I just had no idea that he was kind of involved in like the rise of the internet. I just didn't know that. It's like a fun fact for me. I've also never looked at Elon Musk and thought he was attractive, but he's a handsome guy. He's a handsome guy. I don't know if he's got some work done or something because he looks completely different now, but like what a handsome guy he was.
Computer Corporation eventually purchased Zip.
Broadcast, arguably radio, essentially all media
loop it back.
Folding into the internet.
The now defunct Compaq Computer Corporation eventually purchased Zip2 in February 1999 for a total of $307 million, which earned Elon a cool $22 million. Using that cash injection, Musk moved right on to his next endeavor, X.com. No, not that X, but an online banking service that would just a year later merge with Confinity, its biggest competitor.
Big X.
Exactly. X.com.
I think X.com could absolutely be a multi-billion-dollar bonanza.
Changing its name to PayPal, Musk was ousted as CEO in favor of the then little-known Peter Thiel, owing to complaints of mismanagement from the company's board of directors. Still a shareholder, Musk profited handsomely from the firm's 2002 sale to eBay, to the tune of $175.8 million.
But that was when eBay's stock price...
Okay, so I just want to review this. His father gave them a $28,000 seed to start their, Zip2 or whatever. They sold Zip2 for $307 million, which Elon's cut was $22 million. He then went on to invest into X, which would be bought out by, I forgot where Compaq comes in. X, which would be bought out and it somehow fold under PayPal. This man has never missed. I'm sure there's been some bad investments, but I mean, like, he's from the jump. His dad's 28,000. And we were having this conversation on a video yesterday about, I think that anyone has the right to see. Oh, we were talking about Gail and Oprah's best friend. And I'm just like, why is everybody so mad at her for capitalizing on her friendship? Like, I'm not ever gonna have an opportunity in front of me and I'm not gonna walk through that door. I'm not doing it. Y'all say what y'all want. Be mad at Gail. And someone even went as far to say like she serves no purpose on this earth other than being Oprah's best friend. I'm just like, that is aggressive. That's also a really mean thing to say. Everyone serves a purpose on this earth. I have no idea what she does philanthropically. I know that she is a host on Good Morning something, one of them morning Today shows. But I mean, she's also a mother and a grandmother. It's like she serves a purpose. Let's not go that far. Sheesh. But, you talk about like why you work so hard, and you work hard, hopefully to be generous and at leisure with your children. And that man gave his sons $28,000 and look what it turned into. Talk about planting a seed. I'm not against nepotism. I'm not against people seizing opportunities that other people are offering them and giving them tables to sit at that they otherwise wouldn't have been able or invited to. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just not against that. It's not my nature.
$175.8 million.
But that was when eBay's stock price was about $55 and they hadn't split. So I guess in today's dollars, we're about $3 billion. So it worked out pretty well.
After leaving PayPal, Musk immediately went to work on businesses that have since become his signature: the space technology firm SpaceX and the automotive company Tesla Incorporated. An eternal believer in the optimism of the future, Musk founded SpaceX as a means of increasing the reliability and accessibility of space travel.
I think you've got...
He's got new teeth here. He leveled up in 2004 and got some veneers. Does anyone else wonder, like, what Elon's Teslas are like? Like, I know his Tesla ain't like everybody else's Teslas. Elon's Teslas can fry an egg on the inside. There's like a chef in there. I'm telling you. I'm just saying.
Space travel.
I think you've got, assuming that we fulfill the president's vision and we establish a moon base and then go on and establish a Mars base, I think supplying those bases is a huge, huge business.
Following a series of failed rocket launches that nearly bankrupted him, Musk finally saw the successful takeoff of the Falcon 1 rocket in 2008, earning SpaceX a $1.6 billion NASA contract and fully establishing him as a major player in the world of science and technology. Similarly, Tesla became the world's most valuable automaker in 2020, eventually becoming a $1 trillion company.
The market value of Tesla, the manufacturer of high-end electric cars, has actually surpassed that of Ford and General Motors, both of which sell millions more cars than Tesla does.
Some have credited Musk with single-handedly launching the electric car revolution and bringing its technology to the cultural forefront. That said, all good things must come to an end. In this case, that good thing would be Elon's collective goodwill.
All right, so I guess here's the question I'd love for you to comment before we start watching this video show us his decline. Do you think Elon is at... we're beginning to watch his decline? Like, he's been at the top of the mountaintop for so long. Do we feel like, they say you've always got to come down from the mountaintop. You're never going to stay there forever. You're going to fall. I certainly don't wish that on anyone, but I'm asking you all, do you feel we are watching now the decline of the Elon Musk as a brand? Like, he is a brand. And so everything that he kind of touches and is involved in is, I feel, somehow looked at through the lens of his brand. And so just let me know what you think in the comments.
Come to an end. In this case, that good thing would be Elon's collective goodwill.
Elon Musk put in an offer of almost $44 billion to buy Twitter, and apparently we're hearing it is now a done deal. That Twitter's board, after much consideration, has decided that they're going to take his offer.
For years, Elon was regarded as a transformative figure.
So this is where, in my opinion, if I'm going to answer my own question, I feel Elon opened himself up to, like, the negative criticism. I think up until that point, Elon Musk was just like the great guy who created Teslas. Like, everybody loved him. But then this whole thing with Twitter happened, and people were like, why, like, just the whole way he involved himself in Twitter, and he was talking down about Twitter, and then he went in and bought it. He actually bought it. He fired all these people. He changed the app. He changed the name of the app. And I think that's when we started to see a fraction of people feel like he was public enemy number one, because you took this great thing that people love so much and he changed it. He said it was broken and it needed to be fixed. It wasn't operable. It wasn't profitable. It wasn't all these things. And he came in and, in his opinion, he fixed it. And I think that is where he opened himself up to people like not liking him anymore. Because before then, I don't know if I had ever heard a bad word about this.
Take his offer.
For years, Elon was regarded as a transformative figure, hell-bent on changing the world, even if that meant destroying himself. However, the tide began to shift in 2017. That's when the billionaire started openly mulling the possibility of buying the social media platform then known as Twitter. In the following years, Musk grew increasingly critical of the platform and its leadership, criticizing its commitment to freedom of speech.
Yeah, he said he wanted more transparency. He wanted less censorship. He said that he hopes that his own critics will continue to be active on Twitter, because that's what free speech is all about.
After an ugly, painfully public series of negotiations in 2022, Twitter's board of directors acquiesced to Musk's $44 billion buyout offer. Reactions were mixed, but cautiously optimistic, particularly on the political right, who praised Musk's promotion of free speech. It quickly became clear, though, that Twitter under Musk, renamed to the familiar-sounding X, wasn't exactly in the best hands.
Musk is setting a tone of permissibility for the kind of behavior that had people shown the door in the first place.
After Musk acquired the site, slurs against Black Americans tripled, and anti-Semitic tweets soared more than 61%, according to groups that monitor online hate.
Almost immediately, the frequency...
For those of you that, because I mentioned at the beginning of this video that a majority of my audience here on this channel don't seem to have much issue with Elon. I would love to know your thoughts on that statistic right there, those numbers, just as far as him taking over X and hate speech and anti, all those things that I dare not repeat for, hot words here on YouTube. But I'm just interested to know your thoughts on that. Like, what do you think? Just let me know your thoughts.
percent, according to groups that monitor online hate.
Almost immediately, the frequency of disinformation and hate speech skyrocketed, particularly with regards to the wars in Ukraine and Gaza, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic. This is, of course, in addition to the proliferation of fake or bot accounts. The rise in hateful activity on X reached a disturbing peak with Musk's seeming endorsement of white nationalism in 2023, as well as his public agreement with posts deemed anti-Semitic.
Elon Musk did something yesterday. He retweeted a post, a highly offensive anti-Semitic post. What do you know about that?
He sure did. You guys, the post was by a user on X that claimed the Jewish communities push, quote, hatred against whites. He responded saying, quote, "You have said the actual truth."
In case you didn't already know by now, Elon Musk is not your typical billionaire tech magnate. Unlike his peers, who tend to remain tight-lipped about their political affiliations, Elon is a firebrand public figure who has never shied away from sharing exactly what's on his mind, even if that's generally been to his detriment.
Musk has portrayed himself as a champion of free speech, but issuing the suspensions to journalists who have at times been critical of his turbulent takeover at Twitter, alleging the reporters doxed him by sharing information about his location.
Showing real-time information about somebody's location is inappropriate. You dox, you get suspended. End of story.
For years, he kept quiet.
Okay, so were these people suspended for doxing him? Or were these people suspended for free speech? Or are we saying that the free speech was giving out his whereabouts? Because that is kind of crazy. Just saying, right? Like, don't dox people.
Inappropriate. You dox, you get suspended. End of story.
For years, he kept quiet, but maintained an active lobbying presence in Washington, donating to candidates on both sides of the political aisle. That was, of course, until 2022, when Musk announced his intention to support Republican Party candidates from then on. Musk, originally a Trump skeptic and critic, came around in a big way.
And today we learned billionaire CEO Elon Musk says he will donate to a new super PAC supporting former President Trump. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Musk has pledged to donate $45 million a month. Now, earlier this year, you may remember Musk vowed not to contribute to either Trump or Biden's campaign.
Although he initially endorsed Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for president in 2024, he later switched his support.
Does anyone know the exact turning point or the exact reason that made Elon kind of change his tune and start supporting Trump? If I had to guess, I think it has a lot to do with the trans laws, and especially because he has a child that is a part of the trans community. But that would just be my guess, just off of the things I've reacted to here of him interviewing and things. It's just a guess. I'm not saying it's right. But if anyone knows, or if there's a quote or something you have seen from his mouth say, like what exactly encouraged his change and his turn toward the Trump administration, I would love to know. Let me know down below.
Support to Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for president in 2024. He later switched his support to Trump following the latter's July 2024 assassination attempt. After Trump's victory in November 2024, Musk was made the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, temporary governmental organization. The initiative's stated goal is to slash the federal budget and save taxpayers money, but that isn't exactly how it's turned out.
The main concern with doing this translation, this modernization, is that you're not going to catch all of those edge cases. Folks who have been working on these systems for a very long time told me that it's not even a concern that the beneficiaries will be overpaid or underpaid, but in some circumstances they could not be paid at all, and the administration wouldn't have any idea if it happened.
It's hard to argue with the idea of reducing wasteful spending within the federal government. However, it's even harder to argue that DOGE is on a successful path to its lofty goal. Since its establishment in the immediate aftermath of President Trump's second inauguration, the organization has faced massive backlash and widespread criticism for its lack of transparency, accountability, and seemingly indiscriminate firings of tenured civil servants.
It's a scattershot approach targeting all kinds of different federal agencies. Tonight, some elected officials, bureaucrats, and union leaders say Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, is creating...
Elon Musk's Department of DOGE? I mean, Department of, like, it's his? He owns it? This is why I'm always joking that it felt like, at least for the first 100 days, that Elon was in charge. Because that, to me, is like... Huh? That's how y'all are reporting this? It's his. It's actually his. He goes home and tucks it into bed. It is his possession, his property.
Leaders say Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, is creating chaos and making mistakes with some serious safety concerns by firing thousands of federal workers. Tonight, the I-Team is hearing from 2 of those workers who've now been rehired.
This is in addition to its erratic and often confounding decision-making, which includes the hiring of software engineers as young as 19 years old. Additional criticism has stemmed from Musk's unclear role at DOGE, as well as his unprecedented and highly legally challenged access to sensitive government information as a political appointee. That wasn't Musk's first brush with controversy under the second Trump administration.
This one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
On January 20th, the day of Trump's inauguration, Musk delivered a passionate speech, which culminated with the billionaire making a gesture widely interpreted as a Nazi salute. Musk never apologized, instead attacking those who accused him of making such a gesture and posting a series of Nazi-related puns on X.
And then you had Elon Musk himself thanking them on his X platform and liking or endorsing another.
We've talked about this enough. We've talked about it enough. I think it's clear we've talked about it enough. Do I think people should apologize for things that they don't feel they did? Not necessarily. So I get that. But then to go on and kind of like perpetuate that narrative and kind of troll it rather than just like, you don't have to apologize, I guess, but to at least deny it and like just let it go. I said this, I think, on yesterday's video. If you watch this video in silence with nothing, you watch it, the gesture is what it is. And a lot of people wanted to attribute his awkwardness. The gesture was awkward to his diagnosis of it's autism. I think some people are telling me it's Asperger's. I'm not quoting. I'm just repeating what people have told me in the comments. But again, if just a person who knows nothing about Elon were to turn that on and their TV was on mute, it looked like what it looked like. And then you go onto his Twitter and you see what you see. It's like, can you blame people for thinking what they thought? I'm just going to leave that right there.
Thanking them on his X platform and liking or endorsing another tweet which called the criticism tired. And so really, ultimately, no one can know the intent of this moment, of this gesture, what was behind it, apart from Elon Musk. But it's really kind of worth underlining that this salute is hugely, hugely controversial.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Dang, y'all are detailed.
With all of this having been said, it's become abundantly clear that Musk is no longer enjoying the venerated status he once was used to. Previously perceived as a positive force for change and progress, Musk's association with and deepening ties to Trump have obliterated his reputation globally. His efforts to prop up far-right political groups in Germany, as well as his attempts to influence the outcome of a key Wisconsin Supreme Court race, were directly cited as reasons for Tesla's cratering stock prices.
Elon Musk could soon be leaving his White House post after a tough loss in Wisconsin. Judge Susan Crawford won that race after being backed by Democrats in the state. Musk and his affiliated groups spent $21 million trying to flip the Supreme Court in Wisconsin conservative. but he ended up losing the race by 10 points.
With ongoing protests at Tesla dealerships, as well as the increasingly common vandalism of the electric cars, it remains to be seen if Trump will stick by Musk's side or oust him to avoid political ruin. What do you think of Elon Musk? Is there anything we missed? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to
let us know in the comments below. What do you think about Elon? Many of you have made that clear, and I can confirm that his job was only supposed to be for a certain amount of time anyway. So this whole narrative of ousting and being kicked out and him leaving is like, no, it's always what he was supposed to be doing. But yeah, I mean, I think you ask a certain party, they'll give you one answer, and you ask another party and they'll give you another answer. But I want to know what you think. So let me know down below. As always, keep it cute or put it on mute. I love opinions. I love perspectives. I love conversation, but I don't love unkindness. So keep it kind, okay, friends, and go and have the day you deserve. Bye.